So Apple has just released their new iPhone 17 Pro Max with a new aluminum unibody design, vapor chamber cooling that keeps it chill, and a triple 48 megapixel camera system with a significantly upgraded front camera that finally delivers quality images. Welcome back to the Kevnalysis channel. We're going to unpack the key features that you need to know after spending $1,400 on Apple's latest flagship product. I'm going to share my thoughts after having used the Samsung Galaxy S24 for the last 2 years and upgrading from the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Is this the Apple product that's finally worth upgrading, or just another small step up in design that'll make you spend more money that you don't need? Make sure you stay tuned until the end also for some shopping tips. Now let's go check out this year's new design. Weighing at 233 grams, Apple has this year swapped the titanium shell back to an aluminum unibody design with a slightly raised camera bump to accommodate the larger camera sensors and more advanced lenses. The 6.9-inch rounded edges and super thin bezel gives the body a sense of smoothness and feels premium in the hand. Just make sure you don't drop this thing and put a case on it immediately after you take it out of the box, because feedback is that this shell is just not that durable and extremely prone to scratches, which is one of the biggest letdowns compared to the previous titanium models. So for those who love to fully enjoy and experience the amazing body of the phone, you'll be upset to know you'll need to live with the scratches, especially around the sharp camera bump, which Apple should have rounded to improve the resistance. The body only comes in 3 colors this year. You want to pick up the white for the most scratch resistance and a safe bet compared to the signature orange, which I think will just be a trend or flavor of the month color that everyone will forget and regret if Apple releases new colors to boost demand. What is more scratch resistant this year is a Ceramic Shield 2 screen, which is similar to a sapphire in hardness and covers a 6.9-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display, which is super smooth and silky with its 120Hz refresh rate, using HDR10 and Dolby Vision to display vibrant colors, deep blacks, and extremely good picture quality. The screen also contains an anti-reflective coating to reduce glares tested even under the harsh Aussie sun with a 3000 nit peak brightness. You can see the screen is still well lit, bright as day. The high quality speakers continue giving depth to audio, but still no difference to the previous model. Other features still worth noting, but are also no difference to the previous model, include a customizable action button from the iPhone 15, a dedicated camera control button from the iPhone 16, and a dynamic island that shrinks for notifications. Coming from a Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra and the iPhone 15 Pro, I can see a small difference in the picture quality. Because of the improved screen durability, I've decided to use this without a screen protector for the first time. I just don't like how they tend to smudge, increase glares, and show bubbles or cracks. It feels really nice to use the phone screen raw, but I do have to be more careful not keeping it in the same pocket as my keys or in Louise's bag with other items that can scratch it. A huge downside is going to be the durability, which is a huge setback from the previous models using the titanium. Darker colors are going to be even less durable, and I'm pretty sure that's why Apple didn't release a space gray color this year. If you do buy it and happen to damage it straight out of the box from the Apple Store, it does come with 7 days complimentary Apple Care. And there is an option to extend it out further if you want to. The raised camera bump makes it even less durable, but this was a trade-off to maintain a slim body design whilst accommodating more advanced camera sensors and lenses. You've got 3 48 megapixel cameras at the back, starting from a 0.5mm ultra wide angle lens that captures extremely wide angle image, a main camera that still performs incredibly well under macro mode, and an upgraded telephoto lens which is unique to only the Pro versions, going from 12 to 48 megapixels and capturing up to 8 times optical zoom, just absolutely perfect for spying on others. The biggest camera upgrade this year is a front 18 megapixel square sensor with a wider view, which now accommodates both landscape and portrait shots without having to rotate the phone. It even has AI track and zoom to automatically follow and center subjects during video calls, making sure they're looking at your face when talking to you, and not other things. The video capabilities of the new iPhone is incredible, but it's still not on par with a digital camera, but it's a serious contender given its cost and convenience. Still no 8K recording though, but that's just a gimmick at the moment because barely any devices play 8K anyway. Some other cool features are the slow motion capturing up to 240 frames per second, a cinematic mode which adjusts shutter size to focus on subjects and works much better on Pro versions because of the lighter sensor, and a night mode which works extremely well in low light conditions. So we're just testing out the night vision here. You can see how dark it is, like my camera's not even picking up any picture in the surroundings. It's almost pitch black, but look how much light the camera is picking up. And I kid you not, when you take photos with this thing, the shutter speed is pretty long, but it does take a really clear image. It's crazy. The only differences this year is an additional microphone with enhanced AI noise reduction for slightly better but barely noticeable audio capture, a slightly better video stabilizer. I'm just walking around quite a bit, holding the selfie stick out. You can see my arm is fully extended. So we'll see how stable the video is because it is a bit shaky at the moment, especially with my arm fully extended. And other features for professional creators that 95% of everyday people won't even touch once in their lifetime, like the dual capture for vloggers, ProRes RAW for high-end video editing, and Genlock, which is even less interesting. Something that I really like and is really cool is that you've got this side video button here. So when the phone's asleep, you can tap it once to wake it up. You tap it again, it brings up the camera app. And see, it lets you take pictures and videos as if it was like a digital camera itself with a shutter button right here. I think little details like this is what really sets Apple apart from other smartphone competitors. They just really think about product design and know how to get it right to give a good user experience. They really know how to appeal to users like you and I. It's a beautifully designed product with an optimized software talking to its powerful hardware, like the new A19 Pro chip, which actually sees a pretty big boost this year. Improved memory, Bluetooth 6, larger cache, and most notably, a much better graphics card with ray tracing, all giving exceptional performance during gaming, better multitasking capabilities, and better responsiveness. There's also a hugely noticeable difference with how cool the device stays when playing games on intense settings compared to the previous models like the iPhone 15 series and Galaxy S24 Ultra. Well, no more heating my coffee after gaming, I guess. I ran Genshin Impact on max settings with ray tracing, no lag, no heat, thanks to the vapor chamber cooling, which is another feature unique to just the Pro series. If you're mainly using your phone for gaming, you're going to seriously benefit this year, and you're going to want the Pro, but it's definitely an overkill for TikTok and doom scrolling. Another improvement in performance is the 5000 mAh battery this year, which is 8.6% larger than the previous year and also charges 50% in just 20 minutes with a 40-watt charger. It's partly why the design is slightly heavier this year along with the cooling, and probably why Apple switched back to the aluminium instead of the titanium. Functionally, I think a longer battery life and better cooling is going to deliver much more value and utility compared to a lighter phone, which isn't why you would buy the Pro anyway. Although aluminium decreases the durability, most people are going to have a case on 100% of the time anyway. And a scratch phone is still much more useful than a phone which has no power. And it's going to deliver a much better gaming experience when the phone stays cool and doesn't have the overheating issues from the past models. Tom's Guide's battery test places it pretty high against major flagship phones, and 5 hours of YouTube test shows the new iPhone outperforming the predecessor by 13%. Finally, iOS 26 does bring a couple of new features, but none that are really noticeable enough to call out. And it's also not worth considering for an upgrade, since it's going to eventually roll out to all other models anyway. Okay, now for some final thoughts. Is this year's version worth upgrading? If you're using the phone for hardcore gaming, or you're willing to spend the extra money on the camera benefits, then this year's flagship is your best bet. If you're coming from an older iPhone model such as the 13 or lower, then you're going to see a pretty big difference in almost every single aspect. If you're trying to maximize value and save a bit of money, the base model Pro is $100 less, but you're getting a much smaller screen, which isn't worth it in my opinion. The base model Air also starts from $1,000, which is $100 to $200 less than the Pro models, but you're sacrificing way too many features. And unless you're really after the slim design so you can snap it, which is a bit of a gimmick, especially after you throw a case on it, then you're better off just getting the base model iPhone 17, which is actually $200 less and gives you an extra camera. Apple also have a 14 days returns policy if you're unsure. These phones are expensive, and personally for me, it's not really worth upgrading from the S24 Ultra because I'm just getting too much utility from the pen at the moment. By the way, check out the video here if you want to see a full review of the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. Luckily for me, I've got the luxury to keep both phones so that I can keep testing it and doing honest reviews for you guys. What are your thoughts on the new iPhone series? Let me know in the comments section below. If this video has helped you, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.